Welcome back, y'all. We have a quick transfer portal update video for you. Number one, Nico is going back home to UCLA, and safety John Slaughter has also hit the transfer portal. Both of those players came from the 2023 class. We had 26 high school signees in that class, and we only have 13 left. So we lost half of those players, or I guess you could say that we held on to half of those players. Either way, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, y'all. I'm going to start with my thoughts on Nico going to UCLA. So the first thing for me is that, like I've said several times, this is a bad situation for Tennessee, and I also think for Nico, right? I mean, he's still going to be playing Power 4 football. He's going to the Big Ten, leaving the SEC. So I do think that it's kind of a step down from that perspective. But, he's going to a team that's not very talented. Now, number one, if they didn't leave for the money, which I don't think that that's totally true, but if they really didn't, then they should be okay with this situation because it sounds like Nico's going to make $1.5 million at UCLA. At least that's what's being kind of thrown out there early on. And he made about $2.5 million at Tennessee. So he's going to lose about $1 million, not to mention no state taxes in Tennessee. But California's got some very hefty state taxes. So, the money's not going to go very far there. But hopefully, and, again, I'm a guy that I don't wish bad on any of these kids. And yes, I'm calling Nico a kid. He's on 17, 18, 19 years old. To me, that is a child still. Like, he hasn't fully grown. He doesn't really, he hasn't really gone through life yet. So for me, he's still a kid. I don't wish bad on any of these guys, right? I hope that they go on to, succeed in life and all those great things. So we'll see what happens with Nico. But kind of going back to Tennessee's offensive scheme and that being the reason that Nico leaves. Well, I'm going to tell you, and I've kind of been saying it, I do feel like the offensive scheme, it's the same scheme. It's the same offense, but it's not run quite the same as it was back with Alex Golesh. That's just the straight up truth. There was a lot more wrinkles to what we did back then as opposed to what we've seen in 2023 and 2024. I think that you would have had to been a very, very good quarterback to make the offense go at all. It was straight up and down stuff. People were sitting on all of our routes. You have to understand that if you don't change this offense, I mean, if anything, you can't do less. You've got to start to do more with it because people will figure it out. Those first two seasons, people were still, trying to get it figured out. And now that they have, those changes have to come. I'm very, I'm very excited to see that Tennessee is showing some changes in our orange and white game. So I do think that we're going to be fine, but I had to kind of throw that out there. And we'll see. I don't know what sort of an offensive scheme Nico's going to be running out west, but it's probably not going to be too different. I don't think that they're running like a pro-style offense or anything like that. So we will see what happens. I think that, it's probably going to be pretty tough on them because, like I said, not a whole lot of talent on that roster. Currently, it feels like they're losing or they've lost several skilled players, wide receivers, and things like that. So one of my other questions is, will Nico try to target some of the talent from Tennessee? We know that Mike Matthews went out to California with Nico to work on our new scheme. Would he try to reach out to a Mike Matthews, and would Mike Matthews entertain that? Those things we don't know. I think it's too early on in this process. I don't know that, Mike probably wouldn't want to go all the way out west to play for a, losing team. So I think that Tennessee should be fine from that perspective. So that is a good thing. Now, obviously, we still have to go out and find a quarterback. That's big. We haven't heard too much. Like, there's not too many rumblings out there just yet, but I would expect it, though. What about UCLA's quarterback? Because, now he's looking for a job. So I will kind of talk about that. And his name is Joey Aguilar. Okay, so he actually played at App State last season. He threw for over 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. That doesn't look great, but he has good size. 6'3", 220 pounds. Now, he is from Antioch, California. I'm not quite sure where that is, but he's a player that actually, I'll be completely honest with you, I think that he looks pretty good. So he's got a really good skill set. He's got a strong arm. He's a sturdy looking player. He's not the fastest guy. He's not the shiftiest guy, but his legs are a pretty viable option. He's not the most accurate player either. I think that he only hit on like 58% of his passes. And, I went and looked at how many drops his players or his wide receivers had last season. It was like 19. So it was at about 61% with him actually being on target. Those are not great numbers by any means. I don't think that he's a guy that Tennessee would try to target. Obviously, that would look really bad on us if we try to go and get the quarterback that couldn't beat out the one that we sent or that left from our school. You know what I'm saying? That just wouldn't look good. But I did want to just kind of bring this up so that people could see how he looks and give you my thoughts on it. I think that he is a pretty good quarterback, and if he ends up somewhere else, I think that he could. If he ends up in the right system with some help and things like that, I actually think that he could be a pretty solid quarterback for somebody, just not for our Tennessee Volunteers. All right, y'all. Now let's talk about the loss of John Slaughter from our safety room. He's number 12 right there, listed at 6'2", 197 pounds. And I love John Slaughter. Okay, we're big John Slaughter fans. Think that he's got all the skill sets. He's looks good in coverage. He can definitely thump you. I don't know if he's going to be playing more free or more strong for us this year, but I think he probably would have been in that two deep. He's a guy that P and I have mentioned every time that the transfer portal opens up is, hey, we got to watch out for John Slaughter leaving. This was the only time I think that this spring was the only time that we didn't even bring his name up, just because again he should be in that two deep, right? So we're looking at Andre Turrentine should be a starter because he started for us last season. Then you got Kobe Thomas. I think he's going to be the other starter. And then it should have been John Slaughter somewhere working behind one of those guys. So he would have got a lot of playing time. I'm not quite sure if Tennessee has to go to the transfer portal to add another safety because just looking at this room, there are already several people here. And then we've got other players that are playing at maybe star or playing at cornerback that could also play safety if we needed them to. But I think that we're fine. Some of this, you look at guys like Jordan Thomas and you say, okay, is he going to be healthy by the start of the season or is he going to be healthy early on in the season? Because I think that him as a veteran, he played star for us in 2023. He looked pretty good there, but I think he's much better at safety. But if he can come back at full speed, he would look really good at safety. Like he understands Tennessee's defense. He's played SEC football, so he knows what to do. That's a really good option there. Again, if he is healthy. But then you also have Christian Charles, who played a lot for us last year, looked really good. The thing about Christian Charles is he stays injured, but I love what I saw from him. It wasn't 100% perfect all the time, but I think that he played well. He was willing to stick his daggum neck in there. His coverage skills looked good. So outside of that, we've got guys like, we've got Edge Reese, who I've liked what I've seen from him so far as well. He's a young guy he's definitely been flashing. Caleb Beasley, who can also play safety. They've been kind of cross-training him there. But for me, I think he's probably going to be playing at star right there behind Boo. That's where he was at in the orange and white game. I don't remember him getting any safety snaps. And so, outside of that, man, I think we should be fine. There's some other players that are young that maybe you could throw in there. So if we do go out and get a safety from the portal, might be a younger guy that you can kind of bring up, with this team and all that, just for some added depth. And I would say that, Tennessee loves the versatile players, but you would want to go out and get a guy that's more of a safety body. Actually, I think that Brian Urlacher's son from Notre Dame, I think that he did hit the transfer portal. And I want to say that he would be a rising sophomore, like a second-year guy. Either way, I think that Tennessee should be okay here, but we'll see, right? Like, this is something that we do have to watch pretty closely. But just as far as the starting caliber, Tennessee should be fine. But that's it, man. That's it for my updates. I think that, we definitely got to get moving. We got to get a quarterback in here. We definitely need a wide receiver. And we already talked about the things that we need. Maybe you add safety to that list as well. So I would expect to see some movement coming up here within the next 24 hours. Something, some names, some type of rumblings, something. But those are my thoughts. Please share yours with me down in the comment section. And as always, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Peace.